Hi everyone and welcome to episode 7 of weekly mod picks for Fallout 4. First up in this episode we're going to take a look at wall oil lamps. This mod adds a new lamp to the game which, as you can see, can be attached to walls. It appears in the workshop menu and does actually require the Wasteland Workshop DLC in order to use, because it uses access from that content. The lanterns provide a nice alternative light source and I really like using them in workshop areas. I think they're really great, just hang on the wall and use while crafting items such as weapons and armour. Next up, we're going to take a look at several mods at once, and the first out of those is Cleaner Concrete Structures. This again is a mod that builds upon the Wasteland Workshop DLC and improves the look and feel of the new concrete structures that you can create with that content. There are 3 different colour variants available. There is 2 types of grey, a light grey and a dark grey, and then also a beige effect. In the before and after shots we'll just see how unclean the vanilla textures look when compared to the new ones. It always struck me as kind of strange when you're crafting buildings, etc. in the workshop menu that you always could only craft already broken or decrepit items most of the time, which was strange because if you're making them from scratch, surely you can make them look a lot nicer than they normally do. If you prefer your concrete structures to be cleaner and a bit more presentable, then this may be a mod that you want to check out. Again, the Wasteland Workshop DLC is required to use this mod. Now, building upon these cleaner concrete structures is another mod, which is a texture mod, and it does require the previous one to use, and it's called Brick Texture. Now, as you can see, what it does is it takes that cleaner texture and creates a nice brick version, and it comes in both a standard brick colour and this grey brick as well. Personally, I prefer this version over just the normal cleaner concrete, as it just looks, I don't know, a bit fresher and a bit more like what I would want to create in my settlements. However, I may need to learn how to make curvier buildings rather than these very plain and square looking things in the future. They look a bit like industrial plants rather than houses. So again, if you're looking to spruce up your concrete buildings that you've created with the new DLC, this may be a mod that you want to take a look at. If you go to the mod page for this one as well, you'll see some very nice building designs which are far better than what I've created here. Both of these mods, though, in my honest opinion, are far better than what you get with the vanilla textures. Obviously this is down to personal opinion and you may think something slightly different, but if you don't, I do recommend you go and check these textures out. They're very nicely made and they just make the houses look a bit more homely than what you get with the standard concrete buildings. Next up, we're going to take a look at another great mod from FADINGSIGNAL. This is the West Tech Tactical Optics. There has been 2 new pieces of headgear added to the game which have their own backstory as well, which I encourage you to go and check out on the mod page and also through FADINGSIGNAL's own video. In order to craft, you'll first need to acquire the blueprints and then you'll be able to either craft them at the chemistry station, or if you use AWKCR, you'll be able to craft them at the Armorsmith workbench. There are then a multitude of mods that you can apply to this optical headgear, such as night vision, a targeting hood and a thermal vision. You can also add recon sensors and a VATS matrix overlay if you wish. There are also various colours that you can choose from. My favourite is the red version, which is coming up next. I think it looks absolutely fantastic in game. And on top of this, if you don't want to have the headset do any of the functions such as night vision, you can actually craft cosmetic versions which will just have the effect on the lenses of the headgear. One of the great things about this mod author is he makes very practical mods, and this one goes hand in hand with things like Darker Nights, True Storms, and also Interiors Enhanced. What you also get is a very well made personalised video on the particular mod, and I do suggest you go to the mod page and check out Fading's own video for this mod. It's very well put together and will pretty much explain to you exactly what you need to know about this new headgear. Also, once you've found the blueprints for this new optics, you'll be able to actually put them on the wall in any of your settlements, which is a really great, nice, personal and unique touch. If you're looking to add a little bit of Splinter Cell to your Fallout 4, then this is definitely a mod that you should check out. As well as being able to craft these pieces of headgear, you will also be able to find them out in the wild, though there's a rare chance of this happening, and you may also be able to find them on merchants. The mod also utilises level lists, so you will have to check for any conflicts before you use the mod, and there are several tutorials out there to show you how to do this. Last up in this video, we're going to take a look at Beantown Interiors project. Now this is a sister mod to DC Interiors from Fallout 3 and New Vegas Interiors from Fallout New Vegas. And what the mod currently does is opens up 11 previously boarded houses in the small town of Concord. This means that you have 11 new areas to explore that previously you couldn't even get into, and that was one of my main disappointments so far with Fallout 4, is that even though the world space is seemingly smaller than what we've had with previous games, we also don't have as many locations to go in as I thought we would do. The mod doesn't just open up these areas, but also adds some quite interesting things to discover. I've also been quite impressed with the frame rate that this mod incurs as well, because there is pretty much no drop at all, and I was surprised because I thought opening up these new areas would actually incur some FPS hit, but it doesn't, which is really quite impressive and means that pretty much anyone can install this mod and enjoy the new areas. Obviously this is dependent on everyone's system, as they all are slightly different. And just before we finish up here, I just want to show you a quick tour of my favourite interior that's been added. It's one of the 3 houses, it's just on the top of the Concord Bluff. And basically this one was barricaded by some settlers, but obviously was attacked by raiders. So we've got a couple of dead raiders here, and you can see the barricades that the Wastelanders have set up, and it's pretty nice effect that's been created. You've got some rubber tires here, good protection from bullets, and they've boarded up the windows with a couple of doors, some picket fence there, and some sandbags. It's pretty nicely done. And then we've got some more barricades here. They've used a barbecue, etc. There's a raider and another settler or wastelander here that's failed to stop the raiders coming in. Everyone is pretty much dead in here, so obviously both factions lost out. And it's just the way the barricades are formed here. It looks really quite cool. Another wastelander dead there. Obviously a sleeping bag over there where they could have slept for a little bit. It's just a really nicely designed interior. But on top of all that, we've also got a terminal here which has some added information about the people that were holed up in this location. That's the kind of thing that I like that's been added by this mod. It just gives you even more than what some of the interiors that Bethesda have designed. There's a lot more like little quirks, a little bit more explanations, and it's actually vastly improved on what we had in the vanilla game, which is great, and I'm glad to see that this series has made its way into Fallout 4, and I'm excited to see what we're going to get next as well. So that brings me to the end of episode 7. If you've liked any of the mods that I've shown in this video, you'll find links down in the description below. Just remember to endorse any mod that you use and support any mod author that you use frequently. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.